Hello, everyone. My guest today is Sean Sankaran. He is building a tool called FixNix.co. He's the entrepreneur who sold his house. He's bootstrapped the company for 8 years and has been mentioned by Gartner, got rewarded as a top reg tech and GRC company by Medici and 30 other international entities. He pivoted to cybersecurity officer platform during COVID to offer people plus businesses plus leadership in cybersecurity rather than a process system. Sean, you ready to take us to the top?
Yes, I'm good, Nathan.
All right. So just to be clear, it's fixnix.co. Is this a SaaS company or is it a consulting firm?
No, we are a SaaS company.
Okay. And so tell me what customers are paying you for.
People pay for the security services. They want us to automate their cybersecurity processes, Nathan.
And how much are they paying you to do that on average per month?
$500 to $6,000.
You said 400?
$500.
Okay, $500 a month. And that's an average or is that the lowest?
That's the lowest. Even they pay $6,000 per month.
So what would you say an average is?
Average is maybe $2,500.
Okay, so $2,500 per month. And why would someone pay you $500 a month versus $6,000 per month? What are they paying more for?
They pay for automating their cybersecurity processes like NIST, SOC 2. So in case if they have a very minimal need to set up few processes, so they pay less. They start small. They are a startup. They just want to get onto cybersecurity. They are just on the initial level of cybersecurity maturity. They pay less. But when they kind of upgrade themselves, they try to upscale themselves on maturity of cybersecurity. They adopt more processes. They automate more workflows. That's when they pay more.
Got it. And when did you launch the business?
It's 8 years before.
Okay, so call it 2012.
Yep.
And have you? It sounds like you've bootstrapped. How did you get your first 10 customers?
I used to be a chief information security officer. I spent 10 years in cybersecurity industry with Microsoft and IBM. And I had a huge network of people, my CISO community. So I kind of used that to get the first 10 customers.
That's great. And how many customers today?
Today we have 230 customers put together.
230?
Yeah.
And can I take 230 times 2,500 a month on average? You're doing $600,000 a month in revenue?
Not necessarily. So actually, interestingly, we were the first ones to discover this whole software as a service business model in this space. So governance, risk and compliance used to be on-premises, Fortune 100, Fortune 1000. 8 years before, we were the first one to discover this, even the SaaS momentum. I think we said, we made a statement, we want to be the Salesforce of GRC. So interestingly, it's a kind of a 230 customers cumulatively through our journey, not necessarily on a MRR, ARR, Nathan.
How many are active today?
Active, we have maybe 30 plus.
30?
Yeah, 30. That's right.
Why have 200? I mean, it's been over 8 years, so it makes sense. But why do they churn? Why don't they stick?
No, actually, we kind of used to do a lot of this small deals like $250 type clients in the past. We kind of used to help pharmaceutical compliance. We had volume licensing deals with partners where they provide services. As part of that, they use our product to automate the process systems for their compliance certifications. But I think we thought it's not adding a lot of value. So we moved away and we are now focusing more on $2,500 or $6,000 kind of per month clients.
So can I take 30 active customers times $2,500 a month? You're doing about $80,000 a month in revenue?
Kind of, yes.
Do you think hopefully you'll break $1 million run rate this year?
Yes. We are seeing a huge traction post COVID-19.
Why is that?
Because I think everybody have moved remote. Previously, everybody, when you go ask them, try cybersecurity, they used to say that they don't need it actually at that point of time. But now everybody working from remote, everybody is able to realize the importance of cybersecurity, data loss prevention, etc. They may be a 10 people startup, maybe just raise the seed round, but they are able to see the importance of cybersecurity now.
Mm-hmm. And help me understand your growth. If you're doing $80,000 a month today in revenue, what were you doing a year ago?
Year ago, actually, last year, suddenly COVID-19 has put some of our plans aside. We kind of had some hit on our clientele partners, etc. So this has been still a kind of on-premises. The rest of the industry is on-premises. Maybe even the leaders are trying to adopt a SaaS model now. So I think now last year, I think it was really pathetic. 2020, we do not want to even talk about.
Well, but I want to understand that story, right? So in April of 2020, how much revenue did you do?
Maybe $20,000 per month.
Okay, so you've grown by more than 4x then over the past 12 months.
Yeah, the last actually initially during COVID-19, initially there was a hit. We kind of some of our existing customers, partners even tried toning down their subscriptions, but subsequently we stayed put. We pivoted slightly. We added a small services component to our product now. We brought maybe 40 top thought leaders of cybersecurity industry, chief information security officers. We have formed a marketplace, so people can take now not only product plus services, so that they can automate their systems, implement their processes, etc. So there's a solutions angle now we are pushing to kind of hang in, and things are happening now.
And have you raised, or are you bootstrapped?
We raised less than $1 million. I actually, interestingly, I sold my house, became the entrepreneur who sold his house to Bootstrap.
How much did you sell your house for, and what year?
$200,000, and I infused close to $250,000 in the company throughout this 8 years.
What year was that? So it was 2012?
2016. Actually, we did a kind of a semi-rise from our friends, family, and extended industry members from Silicon Valley and the US. So we raised close to $700,000 from the industry, and maybe a couple of $100,000 from family. We raised almost less than $1 million. It was not a real crowdfunding per se, but it was a kind of extended one.
Based off our research, it looks like you raised about $150,000 in 2014, $500,000 in 2016, another $500,000 in 2018, and then another $250,000 last year in 2020. Are those right?
Yes.
Okay, so you raised about exactly sort of $1 million, but no traditional VCs, more like angels.
That's right.
I see. And why did you choose to go that path?
Because I think we started the business out of India. The engineering was always out of India. So, and in India, the venture capital's appetite to understand this kind of enterprise proposition, your new SaaS enterprise proposition for a new industry, I think was very less. I think people didn't get enterprise at all in the Indian venture capital community. So, particularly at least for a new blue ocean. So, I think that may be the reason I thought, okay, let's bootstrap. In fact, I raised a debt from Government of India, which is a very unusual source. I raised a $150,000 debt. I mortgaged my house to get it, and it was a very interesting journey. That was the seed for the company, actually.
Interesting. Do you have any debt on the books today, or have you paid it all back?
No, we paid back. We paid it off.
Would you look at using debt again to keep growing?
Yeah. I think now there are a lot of interesting opportunities coming in particularly in the US markets. A lot of people are keen to provide based on our traction, so we may be open to it. Maybe I think I'm considering maybe even a crowdfunding through Republic-like platforms, Nathan, now. So more than going to venture capital, we are looking at putting a rise together, hopefully in another quarter, this quarter.
How much capital would you look to raise?
We are looking at 5 to 10 million, maybe 5 through a crowdfunding, 5 maybe through other partners who may be interested in the space.
You want to raise 5 to 10 million, or that's the valuation you want to raise at?
No, we want to raise 5 to 10 million. So the valuation, the last round, the pre-series, we raised it at around a 15 million valuation. But I think
1.5 or 5.0?
1.5.
Okay, so the 250,000 you raised in last year, 2020, you raised it at a $15 million valuation.
That's right.
Which is a 15x against your top line revenues.
That's right.
Got it. And so what valuation would you try and raise 5 to 10 million on?
Right now, I think people are looking at 30 to 50 million valuation. We had few even interesting private equity family office interest on us to acquire last year. I think they were looking at us a 25 to 50 million valuation when they were doing the due diligence.
Flesh out your team for me, Sean. How many people are on their team?
So we have 10 people team in India, mostly engineering. Everybody's engineering. There's just one sales guy. So we have partners in Canada, Singapore, and US. They are our sales phase of the company.
How many full-time people though are on the team altogether?
We have 12.
12? Okay. And how many are engineers?
Come again?
How many of the 12 are engineers?
Or engineers are there are eight engineers actually.
8 engineers. Okay, got it. And do you have any quota carrying sales reps, or you rely on your partners to sell the product?
We have mostly we have a referral partners. They are the ones who help us continue to do the sales. Maybe post our rise, we may try to kind of strengthen our sales and marketing teams.
You said you have affiliates?
Yeah, we kind of not affiliate, referral marketing maybe.
Do you have people who you pay, a commission when they bring you new leads? And if so, what commission do you pay them?
We pay 20% of the recurring revenue. In fact, if they bring a $6,000 deal, they get a recurring 20% commission out of it.
Recurring forever?
Yeah.
Wow. So no matter what, your margins from the affiliate revenue is always going to be lower than 80% because you're paying 20% off the top to the affiliate.
That's right.
How many affiliates do you have driven at least one sale?
We have close to 8 partners who are active from different markets like Africa, Middle East, and US.
Very cool. And do you think the affiliate model is how you'll scale from $1 million in revenue to 10 million in revenue?
Or no, certainly we need to set up our own internal sales team. See, the existing market is the large players. This is usually traditionally called as governance, risk, and compliance platform. It's only sold for enterprises. They go sell for $500,000, $1 million to an average client. So I think this new business model of selling for $25,000 or even lesser than that to an average mom and pop or a small and medium business is a new business model. So still we need to set up a strong inside sales to get to $10 million in sales.
Yep. Well, look, I mean, what you're selling is difficult. I mean, I imagine the sales cycle is a little bit long, right? Because basically governments will say that you have to have PCI DSS or GDPR or, PADSS. And you're basically saying, hey, companies will help you comply with all these government regulations in a quick, easy way using our SaaS tools. So your best friend is the government's imposing new restrictions so that more people have to buy your software to keep up, correct?
Yeah, there was a lot of learning working with government. In fact, we tried partnering with the regulator of India, Reserve Bank of India. We tried doing a public-private partnership. We tried them in their own cloud to focus on some markets like credit union, community banks. But it was a big dud. I think focusing on Indian markets alone was a big dud. So I think we kind of did that for initial maybe 3-4 years. Tried focusing on emerging markets like India a lot. I think that was a big learning curve.
Yep. That makes sense. Well, again, now you're in emerging markets. You have partners in emerging markets. We'll see what happens next. But in the meantime, let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1.
I have a small observation. Actually, there is this privacy regulations like GDPR, California Privacy Act, which is kind of impacting the whole industry. It's not just one company, right? Not large corporates alone need to subscribe to these regulations. So that is helping. So we kind of help automate the privacy regulations too, not cybersecurity alone. So that is helping us get a lot of foothold now.
Great. Let's wrap up here, Sean, with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Kind of the monk who sold his Ferrari.
Say that again. Marcus Aureli?
The monk who sold his Ferrari. I want to write a book, The Entrepreneur Who Sold His Book, on the same lines.
The monk who sold his Ferrari. Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
I follow Mark Benioff and Elon Musk.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building FixNix?
I think it's Gmail.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
6.
And what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
I have 2 daughters, very nice daughters in India. So they may be also looking to move to US at some point of time.
That's great. So are you married?
Yeah, I'm married.
Married with 2 kids. And how old are you?
So I'm 40.
40. Last question. What's something you wish you knew when you were 20?
Maybe I should, if I have known that entrepreneurship has so much opportunities, I wouldn't have even gone for masters and Microsoft and IBMs. I believe I have here.
Guys, there you have it.
To
FixNix.co. They're helping SaaS companies keep up with new government regulations like GDPR. They did $240,000 last year in revenue in terms of run rate. They're now up to $1 million run rate, growing 4x year over year. They're serving 30 paying customers that pay on average $30,000 per year, growing right now with an affiliate model, but looking to expand. Currently, team size is 12 with 8 engineers. Sham, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.